So today, people, it's all about the Reuben. It's like this culinary first aid kit that heals all moods, all problems, and puts you back on the road to success. Right, morning brothers and sisters. The Reuben sandwich is an American sandwich comprised of corned beef, sauerkraut, Swiss cheese, and Russian dressing. Brisket piled high, you're talking about rye bread, you're talking about mustard and Russian dressing, you've got sauerkraut in there, and then you've got the Swiss cheese. Like, mate, it is the be all and end all when it comes to a sandwich. Like, it's got to be in your top 5, right? You can either have pastrami or you can have salt beef. Salt beef, for those that are unsure, is corned beef. It's the same thing. Corned beef is basically salted brisket, and the corned element is because you use large pieces of salt, they call the large salt crystals, they call those corns, and so that's the corned beef vibe. So don't be confused. Salt beef and corned beef, them the same, ain't they? Reubens are associated with Jewish kosher style delis, even though it's not kosher because you've got meat and cheese together. Now when you think of the Reuben, you think of Katz in New York, which I haven't been to, or Schwartz in Montreal, which I have been to. And Schwartz in Montreal was insane.
There you go, gentlemen. You got medium fat. That's the way to eat it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy it.
Thanks, Frank.
Thanks. Take care.
But a good Reuben in London, it's been tough to find one, you know, for years. And then the street food scene came along about, I don't know, 8 years ago, 7 years ago. And then some people started putting that right. But the guy that I'm going to see today, he's a Jewish guy. Kosher food has been his upbringing, you know, his gran and his ma used to feed him this sort of stuff. And he's got a pretty mean Reuben that we're going to go check out today.
My mother, my grandmas, you know, they all made chicken soup and kanelach, which is matzo balls, or lokshen, which is noodles, and salt beef. You know, they all had a hand in making that. And I've grown up eating that kind of food. So many people have nostalgic stories of their father or their mother taking them to, you know, the brass rail or whatever. Their first taste of salt beef seems to be connected to it because it's comfort food. So the origins of the Reuben, I guess, come from the diaspora of Ashkenazi Jews that moved from Eastern Europe to America, brought some of their own traditions and cultures, and then it kind of melded with the American culture. And I think that although the Reuben sandwich, perhaps in Jewish delis, is derided as a kind of a little bit of a lazy choice, for me it's quite a beautiful representation of the amalgamation of cultures.
Yeah. Let's start.
Okay, yeah.
Mark uses best Scottish beef for his salt beef. The process takes well over a week, including a 7-day brine.
Against the grain.
Slice of meat. Yes, please, chef. A little bit thinner, or no, that's perfect. What's really cool is been seeing your technique and seeing how it's built for speed.
If you're really up against it, you've got to stack.
Yes, you've got to
do all that stuff.
The salt beef. Often you get salt beef that's really... Wait a minute. Often you get salt beef that's really dry. It's either been overcooked or it's been in the hot cupboard for too long. Monty's salt beef is moist and it's got loads and loads of flavour. It's got that subtle, delicate beef flavour with the saltiness that comes out, but it's just so moist. It's got the right level of fat in there, which is just absolutely key to a good Reuben. It's amazing because you've got this really beautiful, crunchy, fresh sauerkraut that's got juniper berry and most importantly dill. And so what you're getting is like this superstar sauerkraut. It's not some average jar nonsense. It's so refreshing for the palate. It just invites you. It's like, come on, shall we go for another? I'm like, yeah, I will. And you can really see that Mark from Monty, he's obsessive compulsive about his sandwich action. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's totally on point. The sauces are just right. They're there going, yeah man, it's okay. Relaxing you, massaging you into your sandwich. But they're not overpowering, they're not trying to steal from the main show. And then the Swiss cheese, like so smart of him to flip it onto the grill for 5 or 6 seconds, get it melting, get it oozy, drop it under the sandwich, it collapses over it so encapsulates the whole thing, and then he toasts it. Getting your sandwich game right, it's not easy. It's all about attention to detail. The thing about a Reuben is it satisfies a yearning that we might not even know that we have, but once we've eaten it, we become aware that we've been sated. It's like this culinary first aid kit that heals all moods, all problems, and puts you back on the road to success. I fucking love a Reuben.